Start recording here. All right. Well, we have a great group today. I'm going to go ahead and introduce Katie, who's going to kind of kick things off this afternoon and kind of explain to us a little bit about Used Car Week, the kind of people it's geared towards, and the kind of things that people can expect. So, Katie, you want to go ahead and kick things off?
So hi, everyone. I'm Katie Noland. I am the content director for Used Car Week conferences. You said who is Used Car Week for? It's really for anyone who's a part of the used vehicle industry. So we have a little bit of something for everyone with the 4 events that we host. So hopefully we can get into a little bit of detail about each of the 4 conferences individually and who they're really targeted toward and what sorts of content they offer.
And it's a pretty unique situation because it really is 4 separate conferences back to back to back to back. Some people think it's just one week of just one conference, but there really is a lot of content. I was going over the overview of each conference. It's pretty amazing the broad range of topics you covered during this week.
Yeah, absolutely. So we start out and we talk directly really to dealers and those in that dealership space with the CPO conference. We talked to finance companies with the subprime forum. We talked about the repossession industry and recovery with Re3, and then we kind of take the broad overview of the entire remarketing industry with the National Remarketing Conference at the end of the week. So we really touch on every part of the used vehicle industry with this full week. So there's definitely overlap in the messaging. There are definitely pieces that tie everything together, but they're individual conferences within that week that you kind of find a conference that speaks to your needs no matter what part of the industry you're in.
Right, gotcha. And so everybody knows Used Car Week this year is November 14th to the 18th, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
And registration is now currently open.
It is. Go to usedcarweek.biz. And you can find the registration page there, and you can register for one conference. You can register for all 4 conferences, whatever meets your needs. And right now, early bird registration is going on, and so that'll go on through October 15th, I believe. I should know that date, but you'll save $200 off of your registration by registering early. So it just really makes sense. If you know you're going to come, if you're interested, go ahead and get that registration taken care of. Right.
Start planning now. Don't wait till the last minute. So put the URL in the feed, usedcarweek.biz. Make sure you go check it out. So let me just see. We got someone calling in here. And it says that it's myself calling in, but there he is.
Wait, I was trying to do my hair like you, Dan. But it didn't do it. I don't have enough. That's the problem. What am I going to do?
Hey, Paul.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. And you?
Good. We're just chatting about Used Car Week a little bit.
That's coming up quick.
It is. Don't say that, though. We have a lot of planning left to do.
When is it? When is it now?
It's November 14th through 18th. We're in Las Vegas this year at the Red Rock.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
How come I thought you were somewhere else?
I don't know.
You told Paul somewhere else.
Yeah. We gave you the secret location, Paul.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, now I know. Now I know where I need to be.
We spilled the beans, yep.
No, Red Rock's pretty cool, though. You've been there before, though.
Yes, we've been there a few times.
You've personally been there, too, right, with the conference?
Oh, I have, yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah, because I've been there a couple of times, but it's kind of cool because it's not in that hustle bustle of Vegas. And I mean, some people are going to like that and others aren't. But I mean, I personally like it because it's kind of like Red Rock's pretty cool and swanky. And I mean, it is swanky. I mean, you go in and they've got the aromatherapy where you smell the eucalyptus and stuff. It's got the cool lighting around and the cool jazzy music that plays, and there's no smoking there.
Yeah.
For those non-smokers. But I mean, it's kind of cool because it's it's not like it forces you to walk through a casino and they go, oh, the elevators are over there. And you're like, over there where? Over there. And you got to walk all the way around the casino. And by the time you've walked around the casino 3 times, you're like, oh, there's the elevators.
Right.
And when you walk in, they're like, oh, no, where's your room key? And you're like, I'm carrying my luggage. I got to find my room key now? And then you're like digging for your room key because they want to make sure that it's really your room and you're, you know, especially me. I mean, yeah, right. They want to make sure I'm not an escort or something, I guess. I don't know. And they're saying, no, you know, he's a prostitute. No, I'm sorry, Bill. Sorry, DC. So, no, I think it's really cool in the sense that it's laid back and, you know, and then you're jet lagged and you lay down, take a nap for a couple hours, and you go downstairs and it's 2 a.m. in the morning and people are sitting around having conversation. I don't know. Every time I've gone there, it's been a blast because it's really given me the opportunity to sit down, meet with people, talk to people, talk about their business, talk about, you know, what they're doing that's really working. So that's been great for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely one of our goals with the conference. We try to build in a lot of networking time, opportunities for people to really connect with other people in the industry, people they don't know, people they know well, give you time to sort of have those conversations that maybe aren't as easy to do long distance. So
yeah. And there's a mall right there too. Now
there's a mall?
Oh yeah, there's a mall right there.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, because there was too bad Arnold's not here, but Arnold Tijera, which is a guy that's in the industry, because he was there, and I remember we went shopping and stuff. So okay. Arnold should be on the call. So yeah, there's a mall close by, and the food's good there. It all works out. So
okay, a little bit of everything.
Yeah. I don't know. I like it. I mean, because there's so many conferences in Vegas, and I'm usually at a Vegas conference. I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's a little bit different from the average Vegas conference with that location. So.
Yep. Who we got speaking there this year? Who are some of the people? Who were the ones that get you excited?
Well, we have a few names already on our agendas. We're obviously still sort of in that initial planning stage, but one of our great speakers that we're looking forward to hearing from at the CPO conference, CPO forum, is Tim Rusi with Ally Auto Finance. He's going to be talking about used car leasing, which is a pretty big topic within the industry. What are our opportunities there? Where's that going? How's that going to play a role in the industry going forward? So we're excited to have his name on our agendas for the CPO forum.
Awesome.
What's BZ doing? That's what I want to know. BZ,
well, you know, little or nothing, honestly. I'm going to let him.
Look at that. That's looking good. Way to come in, buddy.
Yeah, you like that little pan? You know, you guys are the experts though on the video stuff. But you know, I'm just watching Katie do her thing. You know, I mean, she's done a great job in pulling the agenda together, and so we're excited about it. It's gonna be fun. You know, like you said, I mean, Red Rock is a bit of a different vibe. It's in that beautiful area of the Red Rock Mountains right there, and so we've taken trips out of there and gone down to Hoover Dam and taken some rides through there. It's absolutely beautiful. You should bring your bike, Paul, and do a little ride when you're out there.
After you speak, though.
After you speak, yeah. Because we know there's going to be an accident thing on Facebook, or there's going to be some broadcast that whatever injury you obtained.
Yeah, I know, because it was last year when I broke 2 ribs, and I called and like, guys, I can't come. I broke 2 ribs. I can't fly.
Yeah, and we were like, what, just 2 ribs? I mean, come on, man up. I mean, honestly. So.
I am a flower. I am a flower.
Delicate flower. You are.
I'm a delicate little flower, no doubt. But yeah.
So we get.
That's why he wears the flower on his lapel.
Yeah, totally. So
here, you want to hear a funny story about the flower in my lapel?
Yes.
Okay.
We do.
So anyway, I'm standing at the conference, Auto Remarketing Canada, your conference.
Yeah.
Talking to a certain person, not mentioning any names, and she said, "Oh, I really like the flower on your lapel. That's really nice." And she can add in how she wants, how it went. And I was like, "Yeah, it's really cool." And she's like, "Well, maybe I should get one or something like that and everything." And I said, "It's masculine. You can't really wear this." And she said, and the way she said it, she goes, "Paul, it's a flower. How can that be?"
It was a very masculine flower.
Totally.
That's what you said. You said, well, it's a very masculine flower.
Yeah. Big hydrangea.
I had to backpedal a little bit, but
no, it's good.
Exactly.
But no, I mean, we are looking forward to what we've got going on there. I think, Paul, and you've heard this as you've gone and talked with your dealer customers all across the country. I mean, such an influx in inventory right now.
Yes.
Especially all of these off-lease units are coming back, flooding back through the wholesale channel and back to the dealer lots. And it's impacting prices with some of the units in particular. And I think that, as we work our way through the summer and into the fall during Used Car Week, I think more and more dealers are going to be looking at different ways to get that inventory back to the consumer. And I think that with having Tim come and speak from Ally's perspective to speak about the used car leasing and that aspect of it, because there are a lot of vehicles, especially in the CPO range, that are still fairly expensive. And for a consumer to afford that on a monthly payment, leasing really begins to make sense. And we've seen some of the OEMs, their captives, jump into that as well. So I think that's going to be something that we're going to be talking about throughout Used Car Week, is not only during the CPO event, which is more dealer focused, and Paul, where you'll speak as well, and we're looking forward to that. But I think that across the board, just the influx of inventory and supply is really an issue that the industry is going to be dealing with. And so that will be one of the focuses. We'll have a ton of great workshops that will be available, everything from digital marketing to sourcing that inventory. I mean, you name it. So that is in development. And of course, it's still a little bit early yet to have all those names down. But we're looking forward to that. We've got a great Katie, I think the dealer panel that is building the best practices panel is really one that's strong, and it's going to be a mix of not only franchise dealers, but Paul, last year, you may remember this too, we've seen some of the larger independent dealers grab a hold of the CPO opportunity. And while they may not have an OEM CPO program, specifically I'm thinking of our friend Todd Hoagie, who's at Auction Direct, and he's got a store not too far from your headquarters there up in upstate New York. Am I right?
Yeah, he does. Got a couple.
Does a great job there. He has one near us here too in Raleigh. Yeah. And those guys are with, they have the NIADA certified pre-owned program and are doing a great job with that. So we're going to talk a lot about, the best practices, what's happening in the market, how you can price those vehicles effectively, how to sell them effectively, how to market them effectively. And I know, Paul, you'll speak to a lot of those things as well, which is, of course, right.
One thing I think it's important that a lot of people don't understand the value of the conference, because we hear Used Car Week, and they don't understand how each day is really a different focus.
Yeah.
I think really explain that. I know it's confused me.
Sure.
And I've been part of it for a number of years now. And it's like, what exactly is it? I remember leaving the conference after, the CPO portion and going, there's more conferences going on down there.
Yeah. You know what? It confuses me. And I think that I've been right here at the table as Katie and I have worked through some of it to figure out how to simplify it. But really, as we began to put together the concept for Used Car Week, and we looked at the different audiences that we have within our media group, and of course, the dealers, the franchise, and the independent dealers are by and large the largest audience that we have, whether it's our print product, our digital products, or our live event products. But when we begin to break it down as well, we have a very large audience in the auto finance space, in the subprime arena, and of course the vendors and the suppliers and the data provider, all of that kind of come around that. And to be able to segment them into the subprime forum was something that's been really important for us, and to kind of have that option. And kind of dovetailing with that was just the technology that was coming out and continues to evolve in the repossession space and the collection space. And when you get into that area, the CFPB and the FTC, they're doing a lot of things these days that you really have to stay on top of in order to stay on the right side of the law. And to be able to provide that information to our customers and to that segment was really important to us. And So we've launched off into that with some content, what I think really strong content around the repossession, the collections, the recovery aspect of things. And then the cornerstone for us, when you go back years and years ago, is the National Remarketing Conference, which really is really brings it all together. Because when we think of remarketing, a lot of people think remarketing, they just think, oh, you're buying cars at the auction, or maybe you're sourcing them digitally, or whatever it may be. You're buying the wholesale inventory, but the full circle of remarketing, if you will, is when that dealer, your customer, Paul, sells that pre-owned unit or a CPO unit or whatever it's going to be. And that really is the full cycle of that car coming either off lease, or maybe it's been repossessed. It's gone through the wholesale channel, and now it's back on a dealer lot and ready to be sold to a consumer with maybe a service contract, a warranty, maybe a CPO attached to it. And so that really, from our standpoint, that's our wheelhouse. That's where we concentrate all of our content that we develop, and our guys do a great job on both the print and digital sides. And we just took that expertise that we have in those areas and kind of just leveraged it into live events. And we all, I know you guys probably feel the same way. You do a lot of traveling, and the ability to have used car week at one location, one fly out, one fly back, gives you that opportunity to kind of pick and choose your content, hang out at the Red Rock, Paul, get that massage you're looking for, the aromatherapy, those kind of things. Or you can go to the mall, which is totally cool too, because there's not that many of those around. But yeah, so it's kind of wrapped up into something that's been pretty nice for us. And like any business, I mean, we know that we have to provide value to our attendees. We know that we have to provide value to our sponsors and our exhibitors, to our speakers. And so really that's our primary concern. We want to make sure that what we've got is something that is of value. And so we've been, fortunate enough to be able to build that over the last few years. And we're looking forward to kind of continuing that and maybe taking it a step higher this year.
Yeah. So basically it's a week-long conference. It's called Used Car Week.
Correct.
One day is all about certified pre-owned vehicles.
Right.
And then another day is all about special finance.
Yep, the subprime side.
The subprime side. Another day is about, what are the different segments to make the days up?
Yeah, definitely. So if you were to kind of picture in your mind a traditional calendar where you have the block for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, what we do is, and this is intentional, we don't start the conference until midday Monday, and that's designed in hopes that people can travel Monday morning and still have the weekend at home with their family or whatever they choose to do on their weekend. But so it starts midday Monday with the Certified Pre-Owned Conference. We have a ton of different workshops that we mentioned earlier, and dealers will have a choice, of which of those workshops to take in. There'll probably be 4 or 5 different concurrent workshops going on in multiple blocks, and that will then kind of culminate in the evening where we have a keynote speaker. And in the past, we've had the J.D. Power Certified Pre-Owned Study, which has been a great way to kind of kick off the conference. But that then rolls again, Paul, into Tuesday, where there's more general sessions. We have our dealer panels on some best practices. We're working with a couple of other speakers right now that I think will provide some really great content, pricing, sourcing, all of those types of things. But on Tuesday, overlaying with the CPO conference, the subprime event will start in another area of the hotel. So you really have concurrent conferences going on. And so you have those different aspects of the industry coming together, the auto finance executives, the CPO guys from the OEMs, their captive finance sources, the dealers, their managers. And so we bring them all together on Tuesday night to one reception and networking reception. And it's just really unique to kind of see the relationships built there, where you have a dealer, a Nissan dealer, who's never had the opportunity necessarily to meet the director of Nissan Certified Pre-Owned, or to meet some of the guys at the top of the captive. So it's really a cool experience. So then out of Tuesday, we roll into Wednesday, where subprime still has some additional content, and the repossession group kind of overlays with that. And we have some of that where you're talking about collections and that type of thing, which is great, because obviously if you've got a large portfolio of subprime loans, you're probably going to have some repossession, collection type of issues and those types of things. So the content does very much dovetail into that. And then from the repossession and recovery group, we roll right into the National Remarketing Conference, where again, just the speakers from all of the different pricing guides, the data, all of that. I mean, you think about the Experience, the NADA used car guides, the Kelley Blue Books, all those types of things, Edmunds, I mean, ALG, it all just kind of is just an overload of data and information. And so we think that has worked pretty well. It definitely, you need to pay attention to the agenda, because there are different slices for each group. But I think also, by and large, as we look at the week, as we look at the attendees, we will have people that will come in on Monday and they're out by Wednesday morning. We will have people that come in Wednesday morning, they're out by Friday morning. And the event is over completely by Friday, I think by 11. Mm-hmm. So again, our effort there is kind of to be consumer friendly, to say, hey, you're going to get out of town on Friday, you're back again for your weekend. And so there's a lot of different little different strategies and opportunities that we kind of have put around Used Car Week that, that make it unique, I think, in the industry, because I don't think that there's that volume of content or that volume and blend of different executives and just people in powerful positions that influence what's going on in the used car market. And as you know, I mean, this is no secret to anyone. I mean, there are 40 plus million used cars sold a year. I mean, it's an incredible business opportunity. But with that volume, and as it increases, even so, there are a lot of different pieces of the puzzle that can have to come together. And so it's just a tremendous time on the calendar, a tremendous week for people that are interested in and have an interest in improving their used car sales and improving their processes, learning more, meeting new people, all the things that make business go. We really think that we've kind of wrapped it all up into one great used car week.
Yeah. You know what I like about the conference, though, too, is when I go there, I always meet dealer principals. Yep. I meet general managers, internet managers, certified pre-owned managers, used car managers. But then I also meet the manufacturers, too. I've met Volvo there. I've met BMW. I've met the Hendrick CPO manager, the BMW CPO manager. I mean, and then there's also the JD Powers, where, I've met those guys. And I mean, the list just goes on and on. It's just a really nice collection of individuals that are really, I guess you could say thought leaders, high level. I've had some really great conversations, and, and I see the different conferences. I mean, it's everybody, a lot of people know that I go to a lot of different conferences and speak at a lot of different, and, some of the other conferences I go to, they've got like their niche, and you have your niche, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I've met independent guys. I've met these independent dealers too, that's what they do. And so it's just a really nice cross mix.
Yeah. I appreciate the kind words on that. And that's really our goal. I mean, I think that as much as we all could hop on a blab or call somebody or text or whatever it may be in terms of communication, relationships really are solidified in many ways, and sometimes sparked in person. And that's really our goal in terms of the event. Certainly we want to drive great data and information, and we want takeaways to be there, and all of that is critically important. You need to walk away knowing something more than what you walked in with, and we understand that. But we also understand that it is so important, Paul, as you just outlined, I mean, to meet those people and to be able to build relationships with people that are at the top of an organization that can influence policy or process, or can be those people that when you have, if you are, again, going back to the dealer situation, you have a problem that you can call. And I think that that's so valuable. And really, as you mentioned, I mean, the unique blend of having all that under one roof, so to speak, has really been beneficial, I think, for the industry. And I'm really glad to hear, we hear some great things back, but it's also great to hear you say those things as well. So thank you.
I also want to go ahead and introduce Jasen. Jasen, you mentioned in one of the panels, Jason's going to be speaking on the CPO panel. Is that correct, Jasen?
Yes. Can you hear me okay?
You sound great.
All right, cool. Yeah, actually, I'm going to be doing used car, about marketing and pricing and 5 strategies to help improve your used car operations. I dabble on a little bit of what helps get that velocity on, get the holy grail of volume and gross. And then again, some of that's going to be a deeper dive in what you got to do to market these cars, get more exposure. But yeah, I believe also you got me as a moderator on the CPO ideas. So I'm looking forward to that again. I got to do that last year, and a lot of good information there. Good panel, but I was surprised to hear some of the certified programs and the certified numbers that are out there, like the Chrysler dealer. Who is that? The number one Chrysler certified dealer.
Is that Bill Luke or Don Luke?
And he was talking about how his F&I is actually more profitable on certified deals, where a lot of dealers don't do certified, or figure they're missing opportunities there. But they had some great information there to share with the show there. So look forward to some more of that this year.
Yeah, definitely. And that's one of the aspects of the certified pre-owned event in particular, is that we do in coordination with our OEM partners and our editors here, select a CPO dealer of the year. And the Luke dealership last year for Chrysler was the CPO dealer of the year. Amazing job. And I know this year I can't announce it yet, but we have a Mercedes-Benz dealer who is going to be our dealer of the year. And so we'll, honestly, recognize them publicly and do the things in our magazine and online and digitally and that type of thing. But he or she will also be there to speak on your panel. So I think that's going to be great. When you take the best of the best and they're willing to share the things that have helped them get to where they are, it can't help but be valuable, or if not valuable, at least interesting.
Sure.
Your processes to that, and so we're excited about that. And Jasen, I know your background, and one of the cool things, one of the unique things that's just kind of coming out of the ground right now, we've seen it all over, is just the unique ways that dealers can now source vehicles, dealer to dealer. There's Driven is out there. You've got Mitch Golub who's out of Cars.com, who's kind of leading that on their board at Driven. That's kind of an interesting wholesale or sourcing angle. Obviously, Dale Pollock and Stockwave is out there. The car organization has their Trade Rev tool. With Paul, we saw that first in Canada, if you remember that. But those tools, especially, and I know the Trade Rev in particular, were started by dealers and then kind of companies that grew up and then were kind of gobbled up by these larger companies. But they don't make those buys without thinking through that very seriously. So there's a lot of great content, a lot of great technology that's out there, new things, and so we're looking forward to kind of sharing that information, sharing the education, and hopefully, again, you take away something that can help improve your bottom line in selling more used cars.
Well, like you're talking about earlier with the independents having their own CPO, I preach about turn and velocity and moving those dollars, and the fundamentals of moving the dollars the same everywhere. A lot of people, I go into different markets, or a Highline store, franchise store, independent. Oh, well, my market's different, or you might have different markets and your inventory levels or different clientele, but the strategy of moving dollars is the same. It's all depreciating asset. The faster you move, so all that's the same. But what's unique about CPO, everybody has their own different quirks about it. A Highline CPO program, it's way different challenges than an independent that's running with a separate program than it is from a Honda or Ford store, both in marketing and just the program in general. So to be able to get collectively all those different minds together, and some ideas that might work for Highline might be able to be used on independents or just regular domestic stores. So put that all together, I think is really unique too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. When we started the CPO portion of the week, and I think was it, Katie, I want to say 2005 maybe. So this is either the 10th or 11th year. And this is not a criticism to any brand, but there were some brands who were coming out with CPO programs that really had not begun to be trusted fully by consumers. And again, I don't mean anything, but derogatory, but it just hadn't. The trust factor had not gone there yet. A Kia CPO, a Hyundai CPO, but you look at those programs now, and they're really very successful for those dealerships. And Paul, I'm sure you've got customers that are kind of from those Hyundai stores, from those Kia stores that are doing very well with that.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, well, it's interesting how that. I remember when Hyundai came out, it was around the same time Yugo came out, and they were disposable cars.
Yeah.
And they really were. That was the cheap car you bought that you knew that was just going to be, you threw it away like a set of batteries or something. That's
yeah. It's changed a great deal.
Yeah, no kidding. Now you got a Hyundai that's like a BMW.
Yeah,
Right.
It's changed a great deal. The other thing too that I think has been unique, and I'd be interested to hear you guys talk about it, is that as we and I don't want to take us back to the recession or whatever, but that was a unique time for so many people in the United States in particular, where maybe they fell on some hard times. Maybe they lost a job, or maybe they missed some payments, or whatever it may be. Their credit score was impacted, and so some bad things happened to some good people. And so those people now may have what their FICO score may be actually a subprime FICO score, but they do have buying power, and their jobs, they have a job again. And so I think that's a unique aspect to the subprime market. If you read the New York Times or you read some of these other national kind of broader type of media outlets, that the next bubble is going to burst or whatever, and it's going to be the subprime auto finance market. And I talk to our guys all the time, and they just don't see that necessarily. So I think that having the subprime portion of the event is so interesting to hear from some of the executives from, and we'll hear from guys from Westlake and TD Auto Finance and some of those people as well. As to what's happening in that market. But I think that understanding dynamic from the automotive portfolios that are out there, guys, versus the housing market is completely different. And I'll even touch on the fact that our recovery guys will say, hey, Dan, you're not making the payment. I've got your car. I now have that. Other than saying, Dan, we need you to move out of your house, okay? Because it's a different type of disposable asset, if you will. We can go get your car, and I don't want to go get it, but there's some guys that and they're almost as tough as Paul. I mean, that time. So that was tough, but guys, yeah, I mean, so
here's an interesting thing though, talking about the subprime. I mean, like our clients, and we talk about that. How many leads, how many opportunities are you getting with subprime? And they're like, well, I get them automatically. I just don't really know what to do with them. Yeah. And I mean, and let's be honest, there's a number of dealers that are starting to see, I mean, and Toyota even made the prediction too, that, sales are going to go a little flat now. So this is a great opportunity to understand the subprime market. And I mean, and if you do it and you do it well, it's a serious cash cow. I mean, there's some high growth, some high upside to it. You just got to know how to do it. And I think this is a perfect conference to go there, spend a day and a half, and learn from individuals that know how to do it.
Yeah. And this year, I think you're talking about the high levels of lease returns, the volumes of inventories coming in, looking at a lot of the headlines that you guys do in the magazine and everything. I use that data to help, get my dealerships to get this inventory flowing, because I think I've seen in Wall Street Journal, the level of inventory this year is going to hit, it's almost a 14-year high, and it's only going to get higher going on. And so as this inventory level gets high, I think CPO is that next route to stand out in the crowd, because there's going to be so much inventory out there. Plus, new cars aren't going to go down without a battle. These new car manufacturers are going to continue to want those record months and years, and they're going to put incentives out there. And again, I think to compete with late model or new cars is that late model CPO program, both as switch cars, but just another way if people can't afford that new one but are tempted, they can do a CPO. So I think it's huge this year and the next 3 years if those inventory levels grow like they are projected to. One, inventory's got to be clean, and two, you got to stand out with that amount out there, and CPO is definitely that way to do that, independent or not, whatever franchise you are.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that said, I'm going to bail. I got to run to another meeting, and you guys can continue the conversation.
Awesome.
It looks like, look at that. Look at all the props Bill got. He's got over 2,000 props.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, because you keep hitting it, Paul.
Not me. I'm not hitting it. You see how functional Dan and I are today. He's logged in as me. I'm logged in as him.
I get like $1 for each one of those, right?
Exactly. The checks in the mail.
Yeah, Jason sent you the check.
Hey, Paul, I'm going to buy you that massage, man, with all these dollars that are flowing in here right now. It's going to be nice.
You're going to get me the $5 massage.
Yeah, actually, technically, these are for Katie because they're on Katie's account. So,
these are Katie's, and rightly so.
Thanks, Paul.
Bye, Paul.
See you, Paul.
So that's a great point. Is also a John Lewis calling in?
He was supposed to. I don't see him on the list.
Okay. No worries.
Has or not.
So what are some of the other things that I mean, like for me, for example, this is my first time going to Used Car Week. What are some of the things that I can expect that I wouldn't normally know if I hadn't gone before, Bill?
Well, I mean, I think that you know, Dan, as we kind of put together the agenda, one of the things that we try to make sure that we're doing is that we're blending content and education that can build off prior years. So you're going to have the companies that have the history, the tradition, the respect, the integrity within the industry that says, okay, these guys have done a great job in years past, and we want to build off of that and continue to share their information and data with everyone, their best practices, whatever it may be. But I think one of the fun things I think that we get to do, especially during the months of June and July and early August, is kind of take a look at the new companies that are coming out, the new offerings that are coming out, the new opportunities. I mean, a Jasen Rice in particular that's got something new going on, and be able to incorporate those kind of things into the conference is always healthy. And so from that standpoint, I think that you're going to come away, one, with a much better understanding of the used car market. Two, I think that in light of that, you're going to come away with a much better understanding of how your dealership or your company can profit in the used car market. And to Jason's point, I mean, the cars are just going to keep coming. And whether you sell that $5,000 car for $7,500 or $8,000, or whether you're selling that $50,000 car for $53,000 or $55,000, whatever that may be, there's opportunity at multiple levels in the used car market. And I think that's what makes it so dynamic. I think that's what makes it so exciting. You're going to find and meet people, Dan, you're going to meet some of the smartest people in the automotive industry on the used car side of things. Jason, I mean, do you agree with that? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, because what's beautiful about used cars, you got much flexibility. You don't have the franchise tying you down. So you guys got a lot of guys that think outside the box just to try to make things happen. So they're always challenging, always pushing themselves, and then they have the freedom to do it in used cars because they don't have the manufacturer tying them down. So you get a lot of different mindsets of what works at this lot, what worked at that lot. And, really what I liked about it too was, and you get stats all over the place, but as you're going through this conference trying to figure things out, these stats that were sticking out, one in particular blew my mind. So I remember I was about ready to go up to the panel. They were talking about how consumers, when they surveyed consumers, went over the certified program, how much more would they be willing to pay for that certified program? And it was upwards of like $2,000. Right. And I scratched my head, and I was looking at another one of the managers that was up at the panel. I'm like, we don't see that in return. They're willing to pay that, but when it comes down to pricing our cars and trying to get that for it, they won't do it. So It's weird to figure out. You got to come up with ways to be able to justify that and get the people to pay it. If they're willing to pay that, they just don't know. The dealers got to come up with ways to project that to the customer that that's what they get when they buy it. I just think I don't think they understand that's what that car, because when you're listed on a site like autotradercars.com, they all look the same other than you got a certified logo there, and dealers don't do a good enough job to explain exactly what that is, because when it is explained to them, they're willing to pay $2,000 more for it, but yet they don't. When we're at the store level.
Great point, Jason, from that side. I mean, it really is all about communication. And whether that is communication between you and your dealer customers about the programs and the advertising and the different things that you're doing for them from a digital and a marketing standpoint, you've got to be able to explain that. And to Jason's point, I think that the communication is so important. Another point, Jason, that always surprises me, the number that they see is the number of consumers that once they've purchased that certified pre-owned vehicle, because of their mindset, because of however they are wired, whatever their DNA is, they're more open also to additional upsells in the F&I office. They're willing to add on that service contract, another 3 months or 3,000 miles, another 6 months or whatever it may be. And so when you start to take into effect the additional gross maybe they get on the certified sale, whatever that number may be, whatever they experience, plus a greater willingness or interest to purchase that service contract. To me, it seems like an amazing opportunity. And of course, I've never sold a car a day in my life. I've always been on the media side and just kind of on the periphery. But it just seems, like, and you guys have been there, it seems like a tremendous opportunity.
Right.
Yep.
Hello.
Oh, we have Laura and Mary Lou who've joined us here.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
In the office down the hall. It's from our other studio.
Yeah. That's right. Well, we just wanted to jump on the call, and Mary Lou over here, she does all of the event organization and logistics, and kind of builds out all the different rooms and makes sure that all of the speakers have what they need. It's a team effort.
That's awesome.
We're really excited for this year's conference. It's going to be bigger and better than last year, right?
That's awesome. Yeah, that's one of the things that I heard a few of my dealers who didn't go to NADA this year, they're going to Used Car Week. One of the things that I asked them why that was the case, I was at NADA, I was manning the booth, and one thing I asked people as they came out of the booth was, how are the classes, right? Natural question to ask. And one thing that I got over and over again when I asked them that question was, it was kind of vanilla content, right? It was kind of the same as last year, same speakers. And they said, what Paul has told me and Samantha, that Used Car Week, it's always fresh. It's always new content. It's new topics. It's not the same person with the same speech as last year. And so to travel all the way to Vegas to hear the same things you heard the previous year is definitely a reason for some people not being like a whole bunch about NADA, but Used Car Week, that because the content's fresh and it's new ideas and new people, getting people like Jasen in there, delivering great content. That's what people want. The tangibles, right? You want to walk away with something. I'm going to go back and implement this. I can't go back and tell them, yeah, same as last year, guys. Keep it up.
Yeah, one of our goals at Used Car Week is definitely to bring that fresh, unique content to the stage, so that even if we have maybe a speaker who's been there for years, because they really bring the great content, the content that they're bringing every year is something new, it's something relevant, and we always want it to be something that dealers, attendees, executives can take back to their everyday job, and they can really implement it. They can, have a better year the next year because they've learned something that they can really an actionable item that they can take back. So that's absolutely our goal. Along those lines, one of the things that we do every year is a call for speakers, and we're right in the process of that right now. It's linked on our website. More, you may be able to help me with the exact address, or Ray, people might be able to find it through usedcarweek.biz. I think it's under the agenda tab, maybe more.
It is. I think it's, let me send this in, and then everybody could see it.
So we always, obviously there are big name companies, they're key speakers that we really know we want to have, but we're always looking for fresh new content, the fresh faces, the new technology. Yeah. People we may not have an existing relationship with who can bring something unique to the event. So fill out our call for speakers, let us know what you can bring to the table, and we'll take a look and see where we can fit you in our agenda.
And that's a good point. Jasen, being a speaker last year, what did you kind of gain from the experience of being able to speak and kind of use that as you kind of show off from the knowledge you have?
Well, one of the things I always try to do is bring, I don't self-promote or promote it at all, because a lot of the stuff that I try to bring to the table are things that we do that others can do themselves, so I just share that here's what you need to be doing. The hard part is having the people and the processes to maintain that. So, again, that's where we come in. So I spoke on things that they could just take right back to their store, do it themselves. And I was able to send in a few other talks and doing the same thing. That's one of the most frustrating things with a lot of conferences is the people that end up talking a lot of times are there to promote a product or a new gadget or something like that.
Yeah.
And I always disclose, hey, I'm going to show you some charts. I'm going to show you this from this particular company. I'm not promoting it. I just want you to know where this data is coming from. But other than that, I at this conference was able to sit in a few other speakers, and that's kind of what they've been brought to the table. Again, is stuff that dealers can do that they're not there self-promoting. So
exactly,
and that's why Jason's coming back, because that's really what we're looking for. We don't want somebody to get up there and say, "Hey, this is my new product. Let me sell it to you," because it doesn't work well for the speaker. It doesn't work well for the attendees. You get traction as a speaker from providing content and information, like Jason's saying, stuff that people can take back and do themselves, or they can talk to Jason about how he can help them accomplish that in their dealership or whatever. But we don't want the self-promo types of presentations, and we try to avoid those because it's really in everybody's best interest to give you real information versus a sales pitch.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to pay money to come listen to a sales pitch.
I mean, unless you're really good about like slipping it in there without anybody really noticing it's a sales pitch, but people know.
Yeah.
NADA has some other conferences have big signs out front that say like, if you're sales pitch, we're gonna tweet this, and if you had to tell them to not do a sales pitch, they won't be at Used Car Week, because the people at Used Car Week know that that's not the environment that we're going for. So
I've been to other conferences, not NAD. I've been to NAD, but I'm not referring to NAD. I've been to other conferences that have those type of signs. As a matter of fact, they're kind of mocked.
Yeah.
At some point in time, I've seen people on Twitter going, watch this, stop this guy. And then,
right.
It didn't stop them. Because, the hard part is on both ends on conferences, I understand it is a lot of these speakers are the sponsors. And again, the sponsor as a company spend a lot of money, and you do that for exposure. It's just as that vendor or that sponsor to walk that fine line of, being able to. Again, I think, like you're saying, Katie, it's to the benefit of the dealership, not to just sit there and regurgitate a commercial for your company. You need to go there and bring some good content that they can do with or without you. But again, that's the benefit of doing that stuff, because I think I try to do my business, and what I do is I'd rather give, knowing eventually it comes back. And again, being in a few of these conferences or workshops, I didn't attend them all, but I was able to get that from these people that spoke there.
Right. That's awesome.
It's really important to kind of highlight about Used Car Week is that we really do care about building this community. We want this to be a community of people who share resources throughout the year. So Used Car Week is sort of like our family reunion. We all kind of come together. We talk about what happened last year, what's going to happen next year. And then we kind of have this opportunity to build relationships, long-lasting relationships, and keep in touch throughout the year. And that's the networking. I see people all the time just kind of posting up in the hallway, afterwards, in a workshop, room, whatever it is. They're just talking, having a really great time. And I think that that's something that you can't really get anywhere else.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Dan, I just want to run through really quickly, if you don't mind, just sort of the dates and some of the just the events again for people, so that there's a clear idea of what happens when during the events.
Okay.
Once again, we're November 14th through 18th at the Red Rock Casino Resort and Spa in Las Vegas. We kick off the week with this CPO Forum, which is our dealer-focused event. Registration for that opens at 11 a.m. on Monday, and we get started with workshops that afternoon. One of the cool things that we do, or I think it's cool, it's a lot of work, but we have our registration open the entire week. So even though we have a recommended registration time, really no matter when you show up for which conference, you can stop by the registration desk. Someone will be there to get you signed in. So that's the CPO forum that lasts through the end of the day on Tuesday.
Okay.
Also Monday afternoon, we open registration for the subprime forum to give attendees there the opportunity to attend that reception on Monday evening, so that they can be a part of that with the CPO forum attendees. So we have that sort of mingling of different groups again on that Monday evening. And then that lasts Tuesday through Wednesday, through the middle of the day on Wednesday, and overlaps with the RE3 conference, which starts, we're kind of doing the same thing with RE3 this year. We're asking them to register on Tuesday evening so that they can attend that Tuesday evening reception. So additional sort of mingling and intermingling of the different groups a little bit. Kind of trying to unify the full used car week, so everybody kind of gets a taste of everything. And then that event runs the full day on Wednesday, and then the afternoon overlaps with the National Remarketing Conference, which starts this year. It's starting a little bit early. We normally start in the afternoon with workshops, but this year we're combining with the National Auto Auction Association Convention, which is something we haven't really talked about, but it's kind of a big deal for us. But we're starting, what time are we starting for NRC? We're asking people to register around 11 a.m. on Tuesday if they're there for the NAAA events, which start on Tuesday, and then about 10 a.m. on Wednesday so that they can be a part of the luncheon that's kicking off NRC this year. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a really full week, but like I said, our registration is open all day, every day. So there, one of our smiling faces, or possibly more of our smiling faces, will be there.
That's right.
So show up when you're ready, and we'll get you registered.
Okay. Awesome. That's very exciting. So, any other comments, Jason? What's the number one reason to tell people to come to your workshop?
Well, again, just trying to get stuff that they can actually implement that day. It doesn't cost them anything. It's free. As far as the data, you don't have to buy a tool to do these things. And these are best practices that over 10 years of helping dealerships use corporations are processes, the 5 things that they could just focus on, how to turn that inventory around. Again, there's no magic pill behind it. It's just do these things consistently, and they've been time tested. And so hopefully, be able to bring that good content, and again, be able to be a mediator or moderator, not mediator, right? Moderator.
Some mediating, you never know, right?
Mediation.
Panel. They had a great panel last year, so I'm looking forward to the panel this year, and that was a good opportunity again to pull some ideas out of that. And so I'm looking forward to that too. It's going to be great.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, hey, I really appreciate it. Kate, is there anything else you want to cover?
Yeah, just real quick before we go, I know it's been almost an hour now, but we touched a lot on the first part of the week, but I did want to, I have Bill here. I was going to let him talk a little bit about NRC and that partnership that I just mentioned with NAAA, because I think that's an important change that's new for this year. It's going to bring a lot of new interesting things for that last part of the week, the second half of the week. So
absolutely.
I'll let Bill slide the camera over.
That sounds great.
I feel like we're on SNL.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Here's the cowbell.
So we were very fortunate down through the years with our auto remarketing media product to have worked with the team at the NAAA, the National Auto Auction Association, and many of their members. When you think of the auto auction groups, the Mannheims, the Odessas, all the independents, the ServNets, the America's Auto Auction Groups. I mean, just an amazing group of business people. They just do a tremendous job serving the remarketing industry. And a few years ago, we were approached by the NAAA and said, hey, we're in September, you guys are in November, there may be an opportunity for us to work together. And this is the first year that we're joining the two groups. And so we're excited about that. I think where we normally have gosh, anywhere from 700 to 750. I think the NAAA will bring a few hundred more than that. So I think we're probably going to have 1,000 or so people at the end of the week, which will once again be something, a great opportunity for the industry to come together. So, you know, when you look back at, I think the first auto auctions years and years and years ago, one of the main things that they did is that they provided a marketplace, an easier marketplace for dealers to come to one location, source inventory, whatever it looked like early in the day. But I think still, you know, all these years later, in 2016, the NAAA and its members are doing the same thing. They are saying, hey, we're going to take one of these travel dates off the calendar. We're going to join with the National Remarketing Conference. And really, you know, if you think of maybe 1,000 people that are traveling to NAAA traditionally, and guys, I don't know what number you'd put on 3 or 4 days out of the office, but let's just say it's $2,000. Your airfare, your hotel, your food, maybe it's $1,000. I don't know, but you know, you're talking about millions of dollars in savings for the industry at a key time. And so we're really excited about the partnership. It's gone very well so far, and for those people that are in that segment of the industry, and certainly, like I said, for our auto remarketing property, that's certainly right in our wheelhouse. We're really looking forward to that, and excited about what that will do. I think that you know, for the National Remarketing Conference, one of the things that we've been able to do is bring in the perspective not only from the wholesale side, but from the finance guys, the dealers, and so forth. I'm looking at, you know, one of the sessions we've got queued up already that includes John Manchin, who's the National Remarketing Director for Subaru, Jack Fitzgerald. Jack owns Fitzgerald Auto Mall and multiple dealerships in Maryland and Florida. Just a really smart man, and has been in business for a long time. We'll have Tyler Corder, who's at the top of the Finley Automotive Group out in Las Vegas, and just really smart people. We mentioned Tim Rusi from Ally. So when you have that blend of people from the consignor, the OEM side, and the dealership side, and the finance side, you really can create a tremendous conversation. One that oftentimes lends itself to some really good ideas. And so we're excited about the combination of that. And Dan, really appreciate you helping us provide this forum. It's my first lab. So looking forward to the next one. It's cool to see Jasen and stuff. But again, thanks to you guys for helping us put this on, and we'll look forward to the next one.
Exactly. Yeah, the next one we're looking to do a little bit closer, probably in August, to kind of really, as we get the momentum going, we'll get some more sneak peeks of the speakers and events. So it's going to be a great event. My first time going this year. I'm really excited. So
you're coming.
Yep, and I've got a lot of dealers who are going to be there as well. So I'm going to go and experience used car week, and then get to talk with them about what they experienced, and it's going to be a great time. So I'm excited about it.
Yep, great. Look forward to it.
Well, thanks again, guys. I appreciate it. Jasen, thanks again for joining us today. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
So thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye.